Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and this filter is appropriate for today's video, today's communication, today's transmission for what you're getting ready to receive. So, again, ground yourselves, get over the filter, get over the appearance, and get ready to receive what Spirit has for you to receive today. I'm going to title this Blonde, I See You, Make It Plain. And I want to state right up front before I get into the flow of things. I want to make it very clear in your consciousness where this is coming from and why Spirit is addressing it this way. And so let me just lean into it and get into it, okay? The divine feminine has been under attack for a while now. And I've been sharing that since I came on the computer scene as Sophia of Sheba, Jezebel's Kiss. So many different. Sophia Peaches, Valerie Ames, Mother with Wisdom. Everything that has come from me has been about the divine feminine, in defense of the divine feminine, in regard of the divine feminine, in understanding and expanding spiritual conscious awareness on her behalf as a very deep aspect of her frequencies, of her spectrum. And so when you observe me, receive me from that perspective, for that way, not your mind, what's in your mind, but the truth of what is being given in this moment. Again, this is titled Blonde, I See You, Make It Plain. I want you to understand what I'm getting ready to speak upon goes beyond race. Okay? You can take it that way if that's how you see things in those limited boxes, just black and white. Okay? In this particular instance, we are going to be using the aspects of the divine feminine known to us as Norma Jean or Marilyn Monroe and Breonna Taylor. Okay? This is where the focus is going to be on this. So when your attention wanders and you get ready to take it here, there, and yonder, or my mind gets a hold of it and giddy up, let's ride my way, and I have to snatch it back and say, whoa, no. Understand this again is the awakening, the dawning, the expansion of conscious awareness in regards to seeing, observing, knowing the divine feminine, being aware in a spiritual way. First and foremost, you're connected to this way. You're an aspect of this divine feminine. What I'm getting ready to share with you affects you, has affected you, affects your children, affects the earth herself, okay? In the way that we have been treating her and everything. Okay. Let me just ground in a little bit more, beloveds, and let me get my notes, because I did take some notes because I knew that I would kind of be, because this is very powerful. So let's get to it. Blonde, I see you, make it plain. Again, if you follow me on Facebook, where I suggest you follow me because that's where I'm most prolific, where I share most, where I'm most visible, where you have more access to what Spirit is communicating through me at the moment. Facebook page, Valerie Ames Middlebrook. That's where you'll find that. And I hope what you find inspires you to know yourself deeper, to go deeper within your own knowing, within your own being. Not just your thoughts and feelings, beloveds. I don't want you to get into your thoughts and feelings, okay? I want you to get into your instincts and your intuition. That's where I'm leading you to. Not into knowledge. There's enough of that. I'm not coming at you that way. Okay? That's not what I'm about right now. Okay? So, again, the purpose. Marilyn Monroe, Norma Jean, Breonna Taylor. And I'm going to put me in there too, Valerie Ames Middlebrook. This is about the divine feminine principle. This is about being able to observe, being able to bear witness, being able to consciously grasp the spirituality and the seriousness of the situation, of our nature, and what is going against our nature, our divine nature, and what is causing all the chaos. Okay? I'm going to present some things that are going to be out of the box, because Spirit doesn't fit into a box. Okay? So you have to get rid of your expectations and what you think you know, and empty yourself and open yourself to be able to receive new seeds in divine timing, and know that you're fertile enough right now to receive this information, because you're ready to mature to the next level of your spiritual conscious expansion. Okay? So let me just get into it. I think I've said enough to make it plain. Again, I'm going to take it back to the divine feminine is under attack, has been under attack. And I'm going to break that down for you the way Spirit showed it to me just this morning, in such a clear and profound manner that I am still breaking it down for myself, but I'm also presenting what I have while it's fresh. You're getting it hot from the oven, okay? It's being set on the table hot. Funny, spam risk. I'm just gonna do it like that. Put that like that. Okay, let's get back to it. What was shown to me, many of you know that in the Christian dogma, religion, principles, stories, ways, there is a being, there is an entity, there is a spirit, consciousness, known as the opposer, known as being aggressively like a hungry lion ready to devour you. Now, let's get into who this being is in order to understand where the attack is coming from upon the divine feminine essence, spirit, and why, okay? Why this aspect of war is playing out amongst us and what our roles in it and all of this, okay? Let me just get to it. This opposer, this aggressor, this enemy is Satan, the devil, also known as Lucifer, has so many different names, beloveds. Okay? One existence, though. That existence is opposer. Okay? That existence is in the opposition of the divine feminine. Why? Because it hates her. It fears her. It detests her. And understand why. It was created to usher her in. It was created as her herald, so to speak. It was created as her MC. It was created as her announcer of her presence. It was designed and created for the sole and specific purpose of calling her in to view. It was created so beautiful, but yet it viewed its role as secondary. It viewed itself as, if I'm the one with all this beauty, and I'm the one with all this knowledge, and I'm the one with all this harmony, and I can usher forth all of this beauty, I can do all of this, but I'm not the Holy Spirit. I'm not the divine Holy Spirit. Her is more beautiful than I. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Let that sink in, beloveds. Let that sink in. And understand that this is where the hate is too soft of a word for what this entity thinks and feels of the Holy Spirit. Jealousy, envy is too small of terms to fully understand how this being, this entity, this spiritual consciousness, this frequency, this spectrum, this aspect of being chooses to see, chooses to observe, chooses to witness, chooses to interact with the Holy Spirit, the divine feminine presence. She who carries the space of possibilities. She who influences. She who is full of grace and mercy and unconditional love. Understand why this being, this satanic frequency that has created itself in its own image from its mind and its thoughts and its heart's desires to take the place of the Holy Spirit. Understand the war that broke out. Understand what we're witnessing on the earth. Understand why the girl child in the world of man, the feminine in the world of man, is so troubled, is so persecuted, is so hated, is seen as such a threat. So much so that men want to control the narrative of what the Holy Spirit is, of what her role has been in divine creation, and that she is to always be veiled, she is to always be covered, she is to always be unseen. And everything is her fault because of her beauty. Now understand where this is coming from. From a being who is described in the heavens as most beautiful. But that's not enough. It wants the beauty of the divine Holy Spirit. That's what it envies. Just like the story of Snow White. Again, the filter. Again, the title, Blonde. Again, the juxtaposition and the comparison. And I want you to, I'm going to get into it, but I want you to understand, I'm going to take it to a place where I began to understand a lot about the patriarchy as a child. We went to the drive-in a lot, my mother and my family. That was our form of entertainment. One of the movies that gave me such an understanding and understanding of the divine feminine principle and power. Okay? Power within power. Feminine power. Being this femininity. Being the seat of power. Of true power. Was the movie Black Mama, White Mama. With Pam Grier, and I forget the other actress. I'm so sorry. But her name isn't coming to my mind at this moment. But I want you to hold on to that. And I want you to hold on to where we're going to go with Blonde. Where we're going to go with the Marilyn Monroe and the Norma Jean story. Okay? And I want you to understand once again, blonde, white, platinum blonde. Okay? I want you to hold these concepts, and I want you to understand the light, frequencies, and spectrums within these colors, within these words, within these ways. Okay? And I want you to think of the precious things that man considers precious, material things, that are within this spectrum of platinum, white, ivory. Ivory. The tusk from elephants. Matriarchal. There's so much, beloveds. I want you just to think of these things. I want you to think in the vein of silver, of mercury. These are aspects of white. They go different. They've mixed in. But I want you to, from the metallic sense, from the earth mineral sense, keep these things in mind as well. And understand that what's the highest card? The platinum cards, I believe, or now they're black cards, or they go back and forth. But I want you to understand the juxtaposition. Again, black and white. Again, Marilyn Monroe, Breonna Taylor. I want you to understand how patriarchy looks at women, period. If patriarchy, and again, this is based upon the movie Blonde that's on Netflix right now. This is the aspect or the narrative that I'm following when I'm speaking of Marilyn Monroe and Norma Jean. This is where I'm coming from. Whether you agree with the film or not, this is the aspect that I am speaking of. This is the portrayal. This is the image. This is the imaging. This is the imagining of Norma Jean as an aspect of the divine feminine being incarnated. You know how those memes are circulate and they say, if blank or blah 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 was a person or a look, it would look like this. Well, I want you to do that with Norma Jean, Marilyn Monroe, and Breonna Taylor. I want you to understand, if the divine feminine took on flesh, that Holy Spirit, she took on flesh, and she was born, and she came through the womb of Norma Jean's mother. Let's leave it there for this moment, okay? Understand what that spiritual conscious awareness was like of itself, even before it was born. Understand the mental health that impacted, shaped, and helped form that incarnated spirit with its own self-identity. Okay? It's soft, malleable, innocent. Consciousness. Spiritual consciousness. Understand what held that, what fed that, what abused that, what loved that, what taught that about herself, taught her how to love herself, taught her how to let others treat her. taught her that she didn't matter. She had no voice. Showed her that what was between her legs could only be used and exploited for her survival. Again, this is all coming from Blonde, the Netflix movie. I'm going to do a thorough breakdown on it, but right now it is what it is, beloveds. And I've spent a lot of time trying to set this up, so to speak. But I am going to rely on Spirit to bring you the revelations that you need, rather than if I'm getting it right, if I'm getting in order, or if I'm going back and forth too much. I'm going to let Spirit, I'm giving it to Spirit, and I'm going to let Spirit give you the revelations that you need, no matter how it comes out of me. And I'm going to make peace with that and continue. Again, a lot of times I want you to understand that in doing these videos, there is resistance from the mind and from the feelings. And they're getting less and less, but they're still there. And they cause the fidgeting, the uncomfortable, okay? They cause the doubt in the clarity, not of the message, but in the delivery. So, I'm very much aware of this, and I just wanted to make it very clear to you, those who have been watching me and listening to me for a while now. So, and as you can see, things are getting more, a lot more is coming forward. And I'm coming forward a lot more with a sense of clarity and connection, not just to the message, but to the collective. And that has been the hardest thing for me, to reach out to the collective, and to know that my audience, in using that term, audio, those that are going to interact with this frequency, this spiritual frequency, that are going to be expanding their spiritual conscious awareness through it. This is direct communication. This is direct connection. This is intimacy, so to speak. And it's a very beautiful thing, in that I have always held myself back from contact, communication, connection. And I'm being pushed forward now to connect in this way. So, again, the fact that it's coming through the vessel, the vehicle, Marilyn, the movie Blonde, the foundation of the Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett, her daughter and her mother being 3 generations of women, Black women, women of color, women of substance, women who have suffered, women who know what it is to suffer and speak not from their vanity, but from their pain. That's strength. regardless of if you agree or disagree or you want to judge. It's not your place to judge. All serve spirit. Spirit is way above you. You don't know what somebody got to go through in order to go through the fire that's going to purify them, to bring them to do what they need to do. You don't know. You don't recognize it. And you don't know how to be open with yourself to understand spirit in everything, spirit's hand in everything. You may not understand it, but sooner or later you will. Moving forward, beloveds. Blonde, I see you. Make it plain. Make it plain. Make it plain the divine feminine is under attack. Make it plain who is attacking her. Make it plain why she is being attacked. Make it plain why she has been attacked in all these centuries, millennia, through civilizations. In a stand where I'm getting ready to go to, is such a graphic place that Spirit wants me to warn you. Spirit wants me to warn you that it's about to get real funky. It's about to get real funky. And